China is one of the oldest civilizations in the world. It is also one of the most biodiverse. It is home for over 7,000 species. China ranks third in the world in the number of mammal species. 12 of them are primates. Most are endangered. Macaques are the most common monkeys in China. They can be found all the way from tropical Hainan Island to the icy summits of the Taihang Mountains. This is the story of one group of macaques. More importantly, it is the story of the superhuman devotion one mother has for her child. The Taihang Mountains are one of the most inhospitable places in China. They run 400 kilometers north to south, separating two regions of China. While attractive to poets and painters, few people live here. For most Chinese, they represent an insurmountable obstacle. But what's bad for people is good for some of China's rhesus macaque monkeys. Rhesus macaques have a huge range, spreading across Asia from Afghanistan to Japan. Although macaques are not an endangered species, they are in danger here. Ironically, not from humans, but from their extreme habitat. The macaques of the Taihang Mountains are the northernmost dwellers of their species. Steep cliffs and severe winters put the Taihang macaques under extreme pressure. Even the fit struggle to survive here. Being born with a disability makes it even harder. As the snow intensifies, the troops seek shelter. The alpha male, the king, leads the way. The others follow, but one falls behind. This youngster is in trouble. She's lost contact with the group. If she doesn't rejoin them soon, she will freeze. As the weather worsens, it is imperative that the monkeys reach the cliff face. Although there are no caves in the rock, the monkeys need to reach a vertical cliff face. Hugging the vertical cliff will protect the monkeys from the severe wind. But not all the monkeys will make it. Or will they? Monkeys are not usually known for compassion, but in this troop there seems to be an exception to the rule. As the king leads the troop to safety, the others follow in his footsteps. There's no time to look back. With the weather closing in, the survival of the group is more important than the survival of a straggler. Especially when that straggler is disabled. Only one member of the group even notices that her daughter is missing. But can she get to her in time? It must be terrifying for a baby to realize that it's lost in the snow. And it must be doubly terrifying when you're blind and lost in the snow. Only a superhuman effort can save the blind baby. For now, catastrophe is averted. But there will be no rest for Jia, the blind baby's mother. The king and queen guide the group towards shelter. The macaques live in hierarchically structured groups. The alpha male and alpha female, the king and queen, are at the top of a rigid social pyramid. This rigid hierarchy affects everything the monkeys do. It determines who is able to shelter from the wind and who is left out in the cold, who eats first and who has to scramble for the leftovers. even who grooms whom. The ledge doesn't provide much shelter. The group generates its own heat. Gia and her daughter benefit, at least until higher status monkeys join the huddle. High status guarantees the best seat. Those without status are cast out in the cold. Winter is the deadliest time for the Taihang macaques. Huddling together close to the rock face protects them from the wind. Shared body heat protects them from the cruel temperature. Of course, the king and queen are well insulated by their followers. But all Taihang macaques have the benefit of having a thick coat of hair. In fact, they have 2 coats of fur. Under the surface hair is a second insulating layer of very fine hair. It's a bit like wearing a fleece under a coat. In winter, it is essential for survival. In summer, the macaques molt and shed the now unnecessary hair. But nothing beats a good huddle on a cold day. Gia takes exceptionally good care of her blind baby. It's 6 months old. Blind monkeys rarely survive even 6 weeks in the wild. That the blind baby has lived this long shows a surprising level of devotion. Winter lasts a long time in the Taihang Mountains. It's not uncommon for the first snows to fall in November. But even in the Taihang Mountains, there are breaks in the weather. A temporary easing of the snowfall offers new opportunities. As the snow eases off, the monkeys sense something new in the air. Clustering on the ledge conserves heat, but it takes a lot of energy. Now the monkeys are ravenous. Sentinels, the king's lieutenants, are the first to leave the ledge. These high-ranking males check if the coast is clear. Only when they give the signal does the group at last move off the rock ledge. The first order of business may be to stretch their legs, but eating is high on the agenda. There's little food on the cliff face itself. In winter, the best food sources are found on the valley floor. Gia carries a heavier burden than most. By the time they are 6 months old, most youngsters are virtually independent, but not her blind daughter. Initially, Gia carries her blind baby, but eventually they separate. Once again, the blind baby is at a disadvantage. All the other monkeys can move faster downhill than she can. Happily, Gia stays close. Even in the cold, the blind baby is able to follow her scent. They may not reach the foraging area as fast as the other members of the troop, but they'll get there in the end. The monkeys have few competitors when it comes to finding winter food. Few other animals are able to cope with the inhospitable conditions. As the weather continues to ease, food gathering becomes the top priority. Replenishing the fat reserves that got them through winter is crucial. Although the worst of the winter weather is over, adults must still work hard to find food. But for the little ones, freedom from the ledge is an irresistible invitation to play. Activities such as this aren't just fun and games. They teach essential skills that are necessary preparation for their adult lives. Even when it just looks like unadulterated fun. At the end of winter, food remains scarce. Macaques prefer eating leaves, but it will be some weeks before leaves are back on the trees. At this time of year, one of the best sources of food is underground, roots. Even at the best of times, the blind baby has trouble finding food. When it is under snow and soil, it's almost impossible. Happily, because Gia still suckles her, she doesn't have to. The blind baby gets her essential nutrition from her mother's milk. In winter, when snow covers the ground and the deciduous trees are bare, the monkeys are forced to eat low-grade foods like pine needles. Climbing comes naturally, even to a blind baby. Getting up doesn't seem to be a problem, but getting down again is. Unfortunately, there's no fire department to rescue the blind baby from her lofty perch. She does, however, have something even better, a super mom. Gia's devotion knows no bounds. She's always there when her little one needs her. The Taihang Mountains are a testing environment. Cold in the day, even colder at night. It is a constant struggle for the monkeys to survive. Although there are some natural predators in the mountains, foxes, wolves, bears, eagles, winter accounts for more deaths in the troop than all predators combined. Rivers, streams, and lakes play a big part in macaque life. In warmer months, a lot of macaque social life is played out at the waterside. Macaques congregate near water, they socialize near water, they play in water. So it's little wonder that the monkeys are impatient for the ice to melt. For the blind baby, ice is a new experience. Just when she was getting the hang of snow, her big sister has introduced her to ice. The ice-covered lake bemuses even normally sighted babies. But it's real trouble on shore for the blind baby. It's not her mom who she's reached out to, but the queen. That's a very bad move. Upsetting the group hierarchy is the least of the blind baby's problems. It's important that she finds her mom, fast. For normally sighted babies, the ice offers new challenges. Their thick fur protects them from the cold, but the barren ice offers no attractions to them. The frozen lake certainly is not a playground. For now, the ice is a barrier to much-needed drinking water. Macaques normally get water from leaves, but in winter vegetation is scarce. Their main source of drinking water is the snow before it evaporates, or the ice itself. Happily, Gia pulls the blind baby away before she can get in more trouble. The end of winter brings many changes for the macaques of the Taihang Mountains. Water for drinking becomes plentiful. The sun even caresses the frozen lake. Yet even with spring in the air, the environment remains the monkey's biggest enemy. A fall doesn't have to kill directly. Even a simple broken limb can be fatal for monkeys that depend on their ability to climb. The frozen lake presents a different danger. This macaque isn't admiring its own reflection, it's trying to break the ice. For inexperienced monkeys, thin ice can be a problem. Although macaques can swim, the water is a bit cold for a paddle. Wise monkeys stay close to shore. When there is no snow on the ground and there are no leaves on the trees, meltwater becomes an important drink. And a glimpse through the ice to the lakebed below seems to offer a tantalizing glimpse of lush vegetation just out of reach. One monkey decides to do something about it. It may look like a game, but it's not. Risking a bath, the monkey is trying to break the ice. surface water is one way to quench thirst, but there are others. A piece of ice can be fascinating if you can hold on to it. While babies fish for ice, a sentinel keeps watch. The ice seems endlessly fascinating for the monkeys. This one is clearly not afraid of getting wet, but it is a mystery why it's trying to get under the ice. A signal from the sentinel means it's time to leave. As the adults regroup on shore, the younger monkeys find a new piece of gymnastic apparatus. Little ones play with impunity. Adolescents need good reflexes to avoid an icy bath. The melting ice provides a welcome distraction from the rigors of winter. It seems to be endlessly fascinating to the younger monkeys. One seems to chase a fish swimming under the ice. A dunking doesn't seem to bother the youngster at all, and it's soon back on the ice. But the game ceases to be fun after a second dunking. With spring in the air, the frozen lake will soon be just a memory. It's not only the lake that melts. As the sun warms the mountains, new dangers confront the macaque troop. The melting snow should provide relief for the monkeys. But as single droplets grow to torrents of meltwater, the monkeys have to negotiate new obstacles. In winter, they risk slipping off the cliffs. In spring, they risk being washed over them. Forage over a large territory. The larger the troop, the more often it needs to move to new feeding grounds. Even fast-flowing water cannot stop the flow of the troop. The lake is almost unrecognizable after the ice has melted. The lush green of the lake's algae and vegetation is in stark contrast to the still, hostile hillsides. During the long winter, the macaques survived mainly on bark and roots. Not yet in leaf, the trees are little more than playground equipment. While the lake has been revitalized, the landscape is still bleak, finding it difficult to show a friendly face, or perhaps it simply doesn't have one. Until the trees are in leaf, roots remain an important part of the macaque's diet. Digging for roots is primarily an adolescent and adult activity. Most babies seem to lack the skill or the strength to dig up roots. They're happy instead to play in the background. The blind baby can't play. It seems that she wants to help her mother dig, but just navigating on the ground is hard for her. So Gia has to dig for two. Gia is always there for her blind baby. She's more diligent than most macaque mothers. That her baby has survived its first winter is little short of a miracle. But even with winter over, life doesn't get any easier for them. Even as the weather improves, the group's sentinels remain vigilant. The new season brings new dangers. Macaques range over large territories, often more than 10 square kilometers. Sometimes groups come into contact with rival groups. When the sentinel's call comes, smart macaques rejoin the group as quickly as possible. No one wants to be left hanging around when it's time to move. The twin dangers of falls and fights take their toll on adult macaques. The green shoots of spring are a welcome change from winter's bleak diet. It will still be a while before the deciduous trees are in leaf. For now, the macaques feast on the shoots on the ground. Yet even while food is now easier to come by, danger is never far away. Even in times of plenty, Gia must keep one ear tuned in to her blind baby. Calls and coos keep them in aural contact. The land is especially hard for a blind monkey. A world of sharp rocks, steep slopes, and thorny bushes force the blind baby to move gingerly and with extreme caution. Macaques are natural climbers. They spend as much time in the trees and on the cliff face as they spend on the ground. The blind baby does her best. Negotiating the steep cliffs is not for the faint-hearted, but a big heart is not enough. All too often, the blind baby gets itself into a precarious position. There's only one way out. Gia is never far away. Like a soccer mom, Gia is always there to chauffeur her daughter when she calls. Yet such devotion also takes a huge toll on Gia. At 1 year of age, most babies are self-sufficient. The blind baby will never be. The burden for Gia is great. It would be far easier for Gia to abandon her blind baby. Anecdotal evidence from the field indicates that this is the most frequent outcome when a monkey is born disabled. Yet it's clear that the bond between this mother and daughter is incredibly close. We'll never know whether Gia feels love for her baby, but it's plain to see that she shows tremendous devotion to her. Gia suckles her blind baby long after she should have been weaned. This energy supplement is all that is between life and death for the baby. There aren't many macaque mothers as devoted as Gia. But the blind baby's world may soon be turned upside down. Up till now, the blind baby has had her mother's undivided attention, but spring is the birthing season. If Gia is pregnant, she'll have a rival for her mother's attention. Spring brings other changes as well. At around 5 years of age, young male macaques are driven from their matrilineal family. Thereafter, they will literally live on the periphery of the group. As low-status males, they are kept at a distance, unable to mate until they can usurp the place of an established male. When the time is right, they'll make their move. The group can sense the rising tension. Established males fight to protect their position. If defeated by a younger male, their positions will be reversed. The victor will assume alpha status, and the loser will be banished to the periphery of the group. Only. Unlike some monkey species, the victors in macaque battles for male supremacy do not kill the offspring of the vanquished. Females and babies are not targets. Battles for male status happen frequently. On average, an alpha male only enjoys this rank for just 2 years before being overthrown. Aspiring alpha males use both aggression and social skills to advance their status. Happily, this battle was short. Calm is quickly restored. The king has survived the challenge, and for now at least, the hierarchy is intact. After the fight, life quickly returns to normal in the mountains. And nothing is more normal for macaques than grooming. It seems to be one of the pleasures of monkey life. These moments strengthen ties in the group. Finding a parasite is an added treat. Grooming is one of the few ways that beta males can get close to unattached females. Both males and females take part in grooming activities. Gia luxuriates in being groomed. At least until her daughter gets in the way. Grooming is about more than just good hygiene and reinforcing the social hierarchy. Females outnumber males by a ratio of 4 to 1. Upwardly mobile male macaques deploy their grooming skills as courtship behavior. High-status males use it to keep their consorts. Everyone grooms, even the king and queen, and nothing is allowed to interfere, not even a persistent pesty princess. Grooming is a visual expression of the social hierarchy, but so too are other behaviors. The red faces aren't because of embarrassment. Copulation isn't always for procreation. Although male macaques seem to be ready for sex at any time, females are only in estrus for a brief window each year. At other times, ritual copulation takes place as a visual and very public expression of dominance and hierarchy. But above all, it is likely that grooming just feels good. It has been described as the macaque's equivalent of a day at the spa. Grooming follows hierarchical rules. Because her blindness confers low status on the blind baby, only her mother and her sisters will groom her. As the sun sets, the Taihang macaques prepare for the coming night. Youngsters rejoin their maternal group. Even when bedding down for the night, the hierarchy is maintained. Mothers, their adolescent daughters, and their young children, both male and female, bed down together as a group. The new day brings the same old problems for the blind monkey. She is all too easily isolated. When separated from her mother or her sisters, she can rely only on her sense of touch or smell to find her way. When her mother is downwind from her, she is totally lost. Other young monkeys are puzzled by her condition. Although they can see her deformed eyes, it's not clear that they understand blindness. Infant mortality is high among the macaques. Although Gia takes good care of her daughter, other adults in the group make no concessions for the blind monkey. Her blindness confines her to the lowest rank of the social hierarchy. She is a soft target for all those above her. Infants on the periphery of the hierarchy are vulnerable to infanticide. Some deaths are accidental, a consequence of the bad parenting skills of first-time mothers. But instances of mothers abusing their infants have been recorded. Only when her teenage sister collects her is the blind monkey back in safe hands. For the rest of the young monkeys, the increase in daylight hours and the rise in temperature means just one thing: playtime. Young macaques are natural athletes. For them, the world they inhabit is one vast playground. Sheer cliff faces and thin tree branches hold no fear for them. Gia also spends time in the trees, but for her it's not a game. She has to eat as much as possible. Most macaque babies are weaned as soon as they can feed themselves. That's at about 4 months old. but her blind daughter will never be able to feed herself. It looks as if the larder is bare, but Gia knows what she is doing. She nips the tree blossoms as soon as they appear. She's not just eating for herself. As she is still breastfeeding her blind daughter, she must eat for two. While Gia forages, her blind daughter plays. Like any youngster, she wants to join in the fun, even when she's at a natural disadvantage. Others seem to take advantage of her. Or are they just simply having fun? The blind monkey seems to enjoy playing with other monkeys of her own age. She's wary of adolescents, however, and is quick to see them off. Adolescent females develop their mothering skills on other monkeys' babies. Unfortunately, the result can be fatal. For the blind baby, even a tree branch is safer than the embrace of an unrelated adolescent. Macaques are natural athletes, and trees are their playground. The blind monkey's climbing skills are good. She's not as fast as other monkeys, but there are few places she won't go. However, unlike her peers, she lacks the ability to jump from branch to branch. It's a serious disadvantage when the play gets rough. While the blind monkey likes to play with other youngsters, she's no fool. When the play becomes too boisterous, she finds her amusement on the ground. Young monkeys have the same status in the social hierarchy as their mothers. For males, it will change if they can take the place of a male higher in the hierarchy. The skills learned in play are part of the development process. Is this a future king in the making? Simpler amusement may be found on the ground. And who knows? A new playmate may soon drop in. Even for a blind monkey, climbing trees is unavoidable. Trees are much more than playground equipment. Leaves are the macaque's main food, and a rapid retreat to high branches is essential when a predator appears. Young macaques are audacious aerialists, negotiating even the smallest branches. Testing themselves is all part of their education, at least until they run out of tree. Climbing up seems easier than climbing down. The gravity assist doesn't help you when you can't see where you're going. And it can be lethal when you find yourself in a thorn tree. When the blind monkey gets in trouble, there's only one thing she can do. Call Mom. It's Gia to the rescue. Other young macaques do not require this level of care. That Gia continues to look after her blind child this way is nothing short of extraordinary. But a big change is on the horizon. After a hard winter, spring comes late in the Taihang Mountains. While the hillsides are still bare, there is no fooling biological clocks. Magpies build their nests in preparation for mating. Other animals also prepare for change. The peach blossoms are a welcome sign. Food will soon be plentiful, but if she could see them, the blossoms would also represent a stark warning to the blind monkey. All Taihang macaques are born in a small window in April and May. Those born the previous year are now adolescents able to look after themselves. They need to be independent because their mothers will be focused on other things. Just as the magpie has big plans, so too does Gia. Spring presents no problems for young, independent monkeys. But for a young monkey unable to look after itself, there are immense problems ahead. Because macaque mothers are biologically programmed to concentrate on their newborn babies, it faces abandonment. Every day there is more food. The macaques gorge on peach blossoms. In China, the wild peach tree is considered as a symbol of fertility. Ominously for the blind monkey, if Gia is pregnant, she won't be able to continue to care for her blind daughter. Precipitation is precious in the Taihang Mountains. The stone and soil do not hold water very well, so mist, rain and snow are all welcome. And at this elevation, it is not uncommon to experience all three the same day. A late snowfall doesn't pose any problems for the monkeys or the vegetation. In fact, late precipitation can often fill the gap between winter snows and spring rains. Taihang peaches are incredibly hardy. Peach blossoms are among the first flowers to appear in the spring. The Taihang macaque sees them with relish. They are a welcome change from the winter's diet of bark, roots and pine needles. Peaches are considered to have magical powers. No wonder then that their name, Tao Fu, means omen. For the monkeys of the Taihang, the portents are clear. Despite the winter's reluctance to say goodbye to the mountains, the peach flowers proclaim that spring is well and truly here. For Gia, there may be another portent as well. Normally, Taihang macaques give birth every second year, but perhaps Gia sees a more complicated future ahead. As the snow eases, life gets back to normal. The sentinels resume their duties. The monkeys prepare to move from their rocky ledges to the valley below. All they need is the signal from the king and the trek will begin. It's a trip they make most days, but few monkeys carry a burden as heavy as Gia's. The season continues to advance. With spring come new challenges. At this time of year, mountain mists are a prelude to rain. The damp atmosphere is good for the vegetation, good for the landscape, and good for the monkeys. When the rain finally comes, it is the first rain since the November snowfalls. The mist and rain bring temporary discomfort, but their long-term effect is overwhelmingly beneficial. The previously barren hillsides spring back to life. At last, the trees turn green. Food becomes plentiful, and for a few weeks the macaque's world is transformed into a kinder, better place. For leaf eaters like the Taihang macaques, the rains bring a season of plenty. It's no coincidence that the birthing season coincides with the spring rains. But for the blind monkey, there may be trouble ahead. Of course, an overabundance of water can cause problems too. The macaques of the Taihang Mountains live between a rock and a hard place. In the wet season, the monkeys can fill their water requirement from fruit and leaves, but a trip down to the lakeshore remains a frequent activity. In the winter, the monkeys are forced to survive on low nutrition value pine needles, bark and roots. The deciduous leaves in the summer offer easier pickings and a much improved diet. Weather changes in the Taihang Mountains can be abrupt. Bright sunshine can quickly give way to mist and rain. Even when it is blind, a young monkey can turn almost anything into a game. The blind monkey tries to catch the raindrops that keep falling on her head. When the shower stops, life can get back to normal, even if it sometimes looks like a shampoo commercial. It may look like that she has come second best in a fight, but Gia's bad hair day is an annual occurrence. To survive the heat of the summer, macaques shed their winter coats in the spring. While a complete wardrobe change is not in order, it sometimes seems like a raincoat might be useful. Regardless of the weather conditions, life is never easy for the Taihang macaques. The mountains are a real impediment to normal family life. More misery for the monkeys. The cold winter has given way to a wet spring. The rains seem to go on and on without respite. The blind monkey seeks shelter from the rain wherever she can find it. There is, however, an upside to the relentless rain. It's no longer necessary to go down to the lake for a drink. Wet fur and hands provide more than enough to quench their thirst. The thirsty soil soaks up all the water the sky throws at it. The once barren hillsides are now blanketed in lush green vegetation. Macaques are reckoned to eat 99 different plants. Most of them seem to be in bloom now. When the sky finally clears, the monkeys will be able to have a celebratory feast. Glorious, clear skies reveal the transformation of the once bare mountains. Perhaps they are able to show a kind face after all. Luscious leaves aren't the only treat spring brings. It's a bold caterpillar that shows its face when macaques are around. Toy or treat? It's a puzzle for a young macaque that has never before seen a caterpillar. Perhaps it's both. It may look like play, but there is more going on here than meets the eye. Although they are primarily leaf eaters, the macaques are in fact omnivores that will eat just about anything. Insects, worms, grubs, even small animals supplement their leafy diet. Removing the caterpillar's stinging hairs is essential meal preparation. But it seems that none of the youngsters know what to do next. Or maybe they are just daring each other to take the first bite. The spring rains have completely transformed the mountains. They are now covered in greenery. What looks like moss from a distance is actually a thick blanket of bushes and trees. Even the valley floor has a new carpet of green and yellow. It's a good time to be a macaque. Clover is one of their favorite foods, while the flowering trees and bushes promise tasty fruits to come. Spring is definitely the time of renewal in the Taihang Mountains. New life is bursting out all over, and not just in the plant kingdom. Sometimes new life appears in the most unexpected places. It is birthing time in the troop of macaques, and a surprise. Mom Gia has a new baby, a brother for her blind daughter. And it's completely healthy. Gia is a proud mom, but there are problems ahead for her blind daughter. Macaques only take care of one child at a time. Feeding and caring for a new baby demands a mother's full attention. Gia is biologically programmed to concentrate on the new addition to the family. Normally, this wouldn't be a problem. Usually, macaques don't give birth to a new baby until their previous child is independent. But the blind monkey will never be independent. How will Gia be able to look after them both? Having survived so much, the blind monkey's luck may finally have run out. Life goes on in the monkey troop. It's an exciting time for youngsters newly freed from maternal control. At last, they begin their new lives as independent monkeys. They play, learn, and socialize. It seems the world is at their fingertips. The blind monkey follows them, but now her mom will not be close. Gia's attention is 100% on her new baby. The blind monkey tries to keep up, but try as she might, her blindness holds her back. The blind monkey may lack eyes, but she certainly doesn't lack courage or determination. She can hear other monkeys around her, but that doesn't help her find a fingerhold on the sheer rock face. As she continues to struggle, her situation becomes desperate. Without Mom there to help her, the blind monkey suffers a bad fall. A broken leg would be catastrophic. Macaques range over a large area. If she's unable to keep up with the group, she'll be left behind. Thankfully, her leg isn't broken. The blind monkey is able to hobble off on her own. She has no other choice. There's no one else to help her. The other monkeys ignore her. As far as they're concerned, she's old enough to solve her own problems. And of course, she's at the bottom of the social hierarchy. Her mother, Gia, can't help. She's fully occupied with her new baby. She doesn't even know her blind daughter has been injured. Solace comes from an unexpected source. The blind monkey's older sister takes over what maternal duties she can. Mothers frequently hand over babysitting duties to older daughters. It lessens the burden on the mother and is good preparation for motherhood for the adolescent daughter. A hug and a cuddle help calm the blind baby, as does protecting her from the cold wind. But there is little her sister can do to fix her foot. Gia, meanwhile, is fully occupied with her new baby. Although he'll begin to walk and explore his surroundings in the next few days, for the next few months, he will be dependent on her. Even after he starts eating solid food, Gia's milk will be crucial to his health and growth. Without supplementary mother's milk, the blind baby must find as much food as she can, despite the best intentions of an overprotective older sister. Feeding is not a problem for her new little brother. Safe in his mother's arms, he can taste a leaf. And when he doesn't like it, he knows just where to find what he does like. Very young babies are carried hanging from their mother's stomach. The blind baby is too large for her older sister to carry her that way. But with her maternal instinct kicked in, she covers her little sister's back. For little brother, there's no such problem. For Gia, he's a light load, especially when compared with carrying her blind daughter for the past year. It's hard looking after a dependent child. The blind monkey is lucky to have such a dedicated older sister. Other adolescents also practice their mothering skills, but there are some things that even the most dedicated adolescent can't do. The blind monkey will die unless she has milk. For now, life goes on. Under the watchful eye of her big sister, the blind monkey plays with a sighted peer. She leads as normal a life as possible, but is at a disadvantage in activities such as these. Always an underdog in life, she's even an underdog in innocent play with a peer. There's no rancor or ill intent. It's just not fun. For the blind baby, the habitat remains her biggest challenge. The terrain is difficult and invariably leads to problems. Although occupied with her new baby, Gia senses that something is amiss. Her extraordinary hearing or sixth sense is still attuned to her blind daughter. Either way, she knows something is wrong. With her new baby hanging from her belly, she goes to investigate. She encounters a familiar scene. Well-versed in mountain rescue, she doesn't hesitate. With her newborn baby hanging from her belly, she leaps in to rescue her blind child. It is rare for a female macaque to look after two dependent children. They simply don't have the strength or the stamina for it. It's clear that Gia wants to look after both. The stumbling block is that she can't produce enough milk for both. For the time being, Gia does the impossible. The abundant food available in summer temporarily takes some of the pressure off her. Possibly her new son will be weaned before the next winter's snow. It's her blind daughter's only chance. One thing is clear, Gia will never give up.